Hello BookTube! Welcome to Lizzie Faye Loves Books. I'm Elizabeth, and today I would like to show you some books I've collected by 7 different authors, and I have never read any book by any of these authors. I have heard other people talk about collected authors. I've heard the term blind author. Maybe you have collected books because someone recommended them, or it was a cover by, and then before you know it, you've collected quite a few books because you like the covers, and they've got to be good because the covers are great, right? So, or because your friend recommended them. And I have some books like that. Some are recommended by my sister, and some I just saw and thought I gotta have it. I may not get all of these books read this year. My goal is to read at least 1 or 2 books by each of these authors at some point during this year. Basically, I think I'm going to, for each month, pick one of these authors and read some of her books and then see if I want to continue on. Almost all of these books I have bought secondhand. There are a couple of new ones that I bought at like a bargain bookstore, and I didn't spend a lot of money on these. Let's get started. Now, for February, since February is the romance month, the series I have that looks the most like a romance to me are these Harmony books by Jodi Thomas. I have 8 books right now by Jodi Thomas, and I have not read a single one. All of them but one are part of the Harmony series, and I have I'm still missing number 3. I just called a used bookstore that's about 40 minutes from here to see if they had the number 3 book, and they do. So I feel confident that I can start this series, and if I want to just binge read it all throughout the month of February, then I can read the whole series, and I'm excited. Now, they take place in Harmony, Texas, which I'm assuming is a fictitious town, although Texas is pretty big. There may be a town called Harmony. I haven't looked it up, but I grew up in Oklahoma, just as the crow flies, about 8 miles from Texas. So anything about Texas intrigues me. A lot of my family live there. I just, I feel like they're my home folks. And so anything I can read about Texas is going to be like reading about home. And I am looking forward to this. I have to admit, though, that when I first picked up these books, I was really just drawn to the covers. And I'll show you what I mean. This one is called Welcome to Harmony. It's book 1. This one is book 2, called Somewhere Along the Way. Now, it's not in great shape. It's kind of been through the ringer, literally, but it's book 2, and I needed to have it. As I said, I don't have book 3. It's called The Comforts of Home, and I should be getting that later on this week. Then this is book 4, called Just Down the Road. It is really neat. It's like a porch with a bike and a porch swing. It looks like where I would want to sit and read these books. This one has a cat on the cover, so of course it's called Chance of a Lifetime. This is book 6, Can't Stop Believing. Found this just this weekend. This is called Betting the Rainbow. This is book 7. And then after book 7 was released, there was a prequel released called A Place Called Harmony. So this is book .5, but I prefer to read things in order of publication, so I will be reading it after book 7. There's also an 8th book that is out, and if I read all of these and I'm just dying for more, then I probably will allow myself to go to the actual bookstore and buy it brand new and support the author. I do believe in showing our support for authors that we enjoy, and even though buying brand new books is tough sometimes financially, if I can swing it, then and if I like this author, then I will allow myself the luxury of buying a brand new book. And I have one other book by her that I believe this is a standalone, but also has a great cover. It's called Twisted Creek. Now, for March, I'm going to be hosting something called March Mystery Madness, and so I was trying to decide what mysteries that I want to read, and it's really a matter of narrowing it down because I have so many cozy mysteries and other mystery books that I want to read in March and all throughout the year. But I believe I have settled on a mystery series that was recommended to me by my sister, and they are by Elizabeth Lynn Casey. They are called the Southern Sewing Circle Mysteries, and let me show you the ones I have. Again, these have really cute covers. My sister has read some of these and recommended them, so I started looking for them, and I've been able to find several at library book sales. So I have not collected the entire series, but I do have 6 of them. This is book number 1, called So Deadly. Book number 2 is Death Threads. Book number 3, Pinned for Murder. And book number 4, Deadly Notions. Now, I do not have book 5, but book 6 is called Reap What You Sow. And then I do not have book 7, 8, and 9, but I do have book 10, which is called Wedding Duress. So I have 6 Elizabeth Lynn Casey books. I've not read any of them, but for March I will at least read the first 4 probably, and if I am able to find any more of that series, then I may continue on with it during the month of March, or I may lay that series aside and work on some other mystery series that I have. Now, another mystery series that I have primarily been collecting for my sister, but then as I began to find duplicates, I started collecting them for myself. These are the Benny Harper Mysteries by Earlene Fowler, and they are quilting. They have a quilting theme. Now, these 2 in particular, these paperbacks, I had planned to send to my sister because I could have sworn that I found hardbacks of these first 2 that I was going to keep for myself, because my sister has read the first 2, but she has not. She kind of wanted to complete her set because I've been sending her the rest of the series as I find them at book sales, and so she's been collecting them in paperback. And I was all set to send her these. I had them in her Christmas box, and then I started looking around for the hardback copies that I was almost certain that I had bought, and I can't find them anywhere. So I took these back out of the box because I may need them to read right now, since my sister's already read them. She just, wanted them to complete her set, so that if she wanted to loan them out to somebody or reread or whatever. So eventually I will get these to her. But meanwhile, if I can't find the hardbacks that I wanted to read, then I will start with these. The name of each book in this series is actually the name of a quilt pattern. So that much I do know, even though I have not read any of the books. The first one is called Fool's Puzzle. The second one is called Irish Chain. And then I don't have book 3, but book 4 is called Goose in the Pond. Book 5 is Dove in the Window. Book 6 is Mariner's Compass. I do not have book 7, but book 8 is Arkansas Traveler. Book 9 is Steps to the Altar. And then I don't have 10, 11, and 12, but book 13 is Tumbling Blocks. So I do like to read things in order. I may not read these yet. I may go ahead and send my sister these paperbacks and keep looking for my hardbacks, and because I'm almost positive that I bought them somewhere. I don't know, but maybe I didn't. Maybe I just saw them and didn't pick them up, although that's not like me. Another series that I started just collecting late last year, I saw some left over from our big giant book sale that we had at our library, and I'm not sure if they're mysteries or if they're just fun books, but they are the Aunt Dimity series by Nancy Atherton. And book 1 is called Aunt Dimity's Death. Book 2 is Aunt Dimity and the Duke. Book 3 is Aunt Dimity's Good Deed. Book 4 is Aunt Dimity Digs In. I don't have 5, 6, and 7, but book 8 is Aunt Dimity Takes a Holiday. And then I have a couple in hardback. This is book 11, Aunt Dimity and the Deep Blue Sea. Book 12, Aunt Dimity Goes West. I'm not sure if those are anything that I would like. I thought these were really cute, the ones that have a stuffed bunny on the cover. I like that edition, and so I'll see. I will read the first few and see if I like them, and if I don't, then I will not read past like the first 4. Now, another series that I have picked up is on the recommendation of my sister. My sister's older than me, so I was kind of surprised that she picked these up, because generally she doesn't read a lot of YA books. She recommended the Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants to me and wondered if I had ever read them. I think she's read them all now. I was able to find the first 3 in this edition that I really like. So I have the Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants. These are by Brashares. The Second Summer of the Sisterhood. Girls in Pants, the Third Summer of the Sisterhood. I don't have book 4, but I just found book 5 this weekend. It's called Sisterhood Everlasting. And then I don't think this is part of the series, but this is an adult novel. It's for fans who have grown up with the Girls in the Traveling Pants and are ready for something older. So this is The Last Summer of You and Me. Now, another author I just started picking up last year is Lorna Landvik. The first book I picked up, I thought it just looked really fun. The title is what got me. It's called Patty Jane's House of Curl, and I thought that looked like a lot of fun. And then when I was looking for a book that would make me cry, my sister suggested this one. So I found this at a used bookstore, and I purchased it. It's called Oh My Stars. She said, don't start with this one, though. It's really sad. And then I was at the book warehouse in Orlando back on Black Friday weekend, and I found 2 books by Lorna Landvik that had red stickers on them. And at the time they were having a sticker sale where if you bought 2 books with a red sticker, you could get a 3rd book with a red sticker free. So 2 of the books I got were 'Tis the Season by Lorna Landvik, and then The View from Mount Joy. So the 3rd book I got was a cookbook, which I gave my mother-in-law for Christmas. But now I have 4 Lorna Landvik books that I have not read, and I've never read anything by her, so we'll see if I like them. The 7th author that I have collected is Elizabeth Berg. The first book I found of Elizabeth Berg is called The Art of Mending, and I brought this home because this was in our library book sales, and it got something spilled on it. It got damaged, and so it was not sellable, but I thought it looked like something I would enjoy reading. So, and perhaps something that my sister might enjoy reading. It's got fabric on the cover. My sister is very crafty and loves to sew, and she's a quilter, so, you know, if she's a retired home economics teacher, so if it has anything to do with fabric, then she's all about it. So I thought I would read it and then send it to her. I have not gotten around to it yet, although I've had this book over a year now, and I am needing to get this read. So, that being said, then as I was working with, I guess in February, when we were getting ready to do a big book sale at our library, I ran across a few other Elizabeth Berg books that had just beautiful covers. This one, The Year of Pleasures. It's got all this food on the front, an apple pie, some apples, some raspberries, very kitcheny, and, you know, the story may not have anything to do with food, but it's really a beautiful cover, and it looks homey. Cupboard that it's sitting in, I guess it's a pie safe, and it's all like country and distressed. Then this one was an Oprah Book Club selection, and this has the bathtub, or the old-fashioned clawfoot bathtub on the cover. This one's called Open House. This one is another homey, kitcheny looking one. It's called We Are All Welcome Here, and it's got this old enamel teapot, a coffee pot on the cover, on a stove, and it just looks real homey. And then this one with the blue jay on the front is also really cute. It's called Home Safe. And these 2 were not necessarily cover buys, but I was already collecting Elizabeth Berg, and so why not get these 2? This one is called Range of Motion, and this one is called Joy School. It's got an ice skater on the front. So that is 7 books by Elizabeth Berg, and I have not read a single one. I don't know if I'm going to like her. I don't know if her writing style is going to appeal to me. I don't know if the content of the books is going to appeal to me. Of all 7 of these, that's the one that I have the most doubts about. But we'll see. Who knows? I'm looking forward to reading some of these books. As I said, each month I am going to pick an author and read some of her books. You might have noticed these are all female. Now, I do have I probably have a few male authors that I've collected a few books of. I do have other books by other authors that I've never read. The reason I picked these 7 authors is not only are they all female, but I have collected at least 4 books. In many cases more than 4 books by each of these authors. So I figured it was high time I get reading on these collections. So if you've read any books by these authors and you have an idea of where I should start with any of these that are not series, of course the ones that are series I'm going to read in publication order. The Lorna Landvik or the Elizabeth Berg books I think are all standalones. So if you've read any of those and you have an idea of where I should start in those books, let me know. And each month in my TBR, I will mention which one of these authors I'm going to be reading. If you also have any of these books on your TBR and you want to read along with me, do buddy reads, then I'd love that too. So I guess that's it. I do have a lot of other goals and challenges for 2016, and I'm going to put those in a separate video, but that's all I have for this video. So I hope you're having a great day, read a good book, and God bless you.